Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Daniela and I'm one half of Magical Wiggles. The other half is my mom, Adriana, and together we run this channel as well as our little online store for pet lovers. So it's basically a pet lover boutique, and our channel is completely geared towards the pet lovers out there in the world that also want to celebrate the cuteness. So my mom does a lot of pet lover DIY tutorials, just different ways to integrate our pets into our lives, and then I do more of the businessy side of just taking you along the journey of what our life looks like trying to run this small business from home. So today I'm going to be trying to make some fabric labels for our brand. I haven't done this in like forever. I did make them way back when I originally opened my first shop, and I actually used to do them by hand, and then I started printing them, and now I'm trying a new method with a stamp. So we'll see which one that turns out faster and easier and just looks better quality. And yeah, that's the plan for today. So let's get started. Okay, so I was able to find two of the old versions of the labels that I used to make. So first off, we have the one with the handwritten stuff. So the handwritten label, this one is like, it's literally that, it's just handwritten. So it's using a fabric permanent pen and then just writing it out on cloth, whether that's muslin or cotton, whatever it is, it's just writing it out, and it's supposed to stay that way. Now the thing with these is that when I made them, one, it was just my first one, so I didn't know that they sold stuff to prevent the fraying. This was like more than 10 years ago, okay, so don't judge too hard. But I also cut them, like I measured them, but I cut them very precise. Like it just was not a cute look. So we have that version, and then we have the newer version, which is printed, which is also convenient. Like it's fine. I know a lot of small shops also do it, and I want to say just like taking a piece of muslin, you cut it to the size of a piece of paper, and then you iron on freezer paper. I'm not 100% on the freezer paper, but I'll double check and put a yes or a no somewhere on the screen whether I was right or wrong. And then afterwards you just put it through in your printer, like if it was a regular piece of paper, and your printer will actually take it and print your labels on there. The way that I used to do it is that I would do a Word document, and on that Word document I just repeat the name of the brand over and over again on a table. And the way that I would do what I would do to kind of keep everything, just use as much of it as possible, is that I would also make the margins as narrow as possible. And I don't have Word. I might try to see if I can do like the free online version. I think that might have some way of view. If it does, then I'll insert a clip here on how to do that. But other than that, even though I'm okay with it, it's just the ink consumption just seems really high. Like my printer, when it's working, it tends to eat a lot of ink even if I barely use it. So it felt like an unnecessary expense. I really don't want to have to turn it on. It's just there in case of an emergency. I'm heavily considering just getting rid of it. And yeah, what I wanted to try was actually a stamp. So I got a stamp that's supposed to be for clothes, for fabric, and if you stamp it on, it's supposed to be permanent. So I'm really hoping that it does work, and that's what we're gonna be trying out today, because I already did the printing, the handwritten, so now I just got the stamping. So if you have any ideas of any other method I could try, feel free to comment, because I will try out any method just to see what's better quality and then also easier to do, because everything we do, it's here at home. And yeah, simplifying our life, it's always a positive. But anyways, I just wanted to show you the other versions, and now I'm gonna go grab the stamping stuff and get started. So really quick before we start, I actually want to show you some of the snap-on accessories that I mentioned on the last vlog that I did about like the snap-ons for cats. So these are the ones that I'm working on. So far all of these are either ready to go, just missing the picture, or I still gotta add the hook and loop to them so that they can be attached to the collar. But I love the colors. I'm super excited to finish because cuties need some choices too. Got all the stuff together to try to make this stamp, and basically, so I had tried doing the stamp thing a while back before things got really crazy, like end of last year, and we made some cat toys for Benny and for Shinobi, and we put little labels on them, and they're definitely not the best and they need a lot of work, but I still I want to grab the toy because at least it gives me like the measurement of like what it needs to be like on the sides, so it's like a starting point at least, you know. And yeah, so I grabbed the toy, I grabbed a pencil, little notepad for notes, and the actual fabric. And in here we actually do have like these are the pens that I used to do when I did them by hand. I also have the actual fabric, the stamping kit, and a ruler. Well, one of the fancy rulers. You can also do this with like a measuring tape or anything like that, but because of the size of what I'm trying to accomplish, I'm just gonna use the big ruler. And of course I have my cutting mat beneath so it doesn't scratch the table, and it also helps to keep all the lines straight. I think I'm still gonna need a measuring tape though, since I am using this for the size. I need to figure out what the size is. Okay, so let's see. So as far as size goes, 3.5 centimeters, and then on each side it was 1 centimeter, and then as far as height, less inches, so that's gonna be about 3. Yeah, I'm gonna say 3 just because there's also the section that got sewn on, so we're gonna do 3. That's our label times 2. So we can just replicate it with this pre-cut one, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So because I did it in centimeters, then I can't use my big ruler, so I'm gonna have to do the next one in inches. But so we have 3.5, and then we got our 2, so it's like the exact measurement for the most part. And I don't know if you can see, but I did align it to the line that's right below. So I have it aligned here at the bottom. And then we have it here. So that helps us make sure that it's straight. If I can keep it straight. And then I can use the lines below to help me make the straight line. So this square should give me the same as the original one, which is this one. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it now. I was missing the line from the top, but I just added it because it was the 6 centimeters. So now we're just gonna cut the 4 edges. And the good thing is, like, even though it is pencil, like they do sell like the fabric pencil. Now we have our square. It ended up being 6 centimeters by 5.5. I put it in incorrectly at first. All right, so 5.5 by 6 centimeters. And now what we're going to do is try to figure out the stamp and the location that is Samson. So whenever we have this square, I'm just gonna fold it in half, and ideally I should be able to add the font or the stamp here at this bottom area. Now the issue is that on the stamp, like, there's all of this like extra space, right? Where it's at the bottom, at the top, on the sides, and even on the sides, like, it's not like totally aligned. So I'm going to be taking these out and aligning them to a corner, so it's easier for me to measure, right? Or at least I'm hoping that it will be. So that way I can just measure like how much space is from here to here, and then add from here to here, like how much it is that I need, and hopefully make the process easier, because right now it's just a lot of guesswork. I don't know. I'm just trying to make it easy. So that's what I'm gonna try. If not, then I'll revert it back. So to switch it, they actually did send like these little plastic tweezers, so I'm gonna just proceed to use them to take everything out. I actually sort of like how it's like asymmetrical. Like, I really like stuff like this where it doesn't align all the way, but for the sake of saving fabric and some headaches when I do this, I'm just going to align them completely. The other side, so it's about 1 centimeter off from this side, and the image itself is about 2 centimeters, the image, the writing. So in this little space is 2 centimeters. So now I just gotta account for this side. So on this side we already had the 1 which got added, so I just need to add 0.25. I align it to my center, so this is my fold, aligning it to the 0.5 on the side, and then all the way at the edge where it folds. Okay, and that did not work as expected. Okay, well, let's see. So I think the 6 actually, like, it's probably fine. Like, it still gives the 1 here for sewing, and then it's got the floppies. I guess I could align it to the top here where I also do Happy Hat. No, because then here I was already at the bottom, so it would be over. And I don't want to make it so big, unless I do take off that extra inch. So instead of 6, we do 5. And I'm and 4.5. Alright, I saw another little square, so let's try that. So before we do that, I'm just going to go ahead and move this to the bottom row because that's my easiest measurement. Yeah. So I'm just gonna do that. Okay, so never mind. I actually ended up going outside, and then I was like, wait, I can just use the top measurement. It just took me a little bit, I don't know. So I came back in and I rushed and I used this little piece of fabric that was scribbled on before, and I tested it out. I just did a little rectangle again, 4.5 by 5. I did 0.5 centimeter at the top, 0.5 centimeter at the right, and then just aligned it to the top. Like, I don't know why I was so fixated on aligning it to the bottom, but obviously it was just completely unnecessary. Because then I'm just adding some extra work to myself when the whole point is for it to be easy. So now we have this little piece of fabric, so it works, it looks cute, it's a good size, gives us room to do it to sew across the top and then sew across the bottom. And yeah, I think aesthetically it looks okay. Like, I definitely like this way more than the other two versions. Like I said, the printer was fine. I don't hate it. It's I still think it looks good, and I mean, this ink has been on the piece of fabric for like ever, and it still just looks like I just printed them yesterday. So the method works. I am just going to end up giving these a try, but before I do, I'm going to try to wash it and see what it does. I think I'm supposed to wait 24 hours to try to wash, but I think the label size at the very least, it works. Like, worst case scenario, and I do it by hand. I still like this stuff. It's supposed to be permanent, but the reviews on anything that's like fabric stamps on Amazon, it was just not good. Like, this was the best that I could get. That was budget friendly. I know that there is an ink that they sell that is for fabric, and there's like a brand, like a fabric paint brand, but I'm still trying to figure out how it would work on here. Like I kept thinking about it, and I used to like and I used to work with like real normal stamps at one point, and they had a similar system to this. So what I'm thinking is that if I manage to like just open it up, like just like halfway through, I can maneuver so that when the ink runs out on it, I can just drop the good ink in here so I can keep using the stamp and have better ink. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. Like, I'm happy that this stuff worked enough as to where, like I said, I bought this months ago. I thought it would be dry, to be completely honest, because it's just been so long. But it worked. We got a plan. We got good measurements. I really like this size. I think it will look cute on dresses and on the toys and the bandanas and all that good stuff. Not sure about the collars. Still gotta think that through. I'll probably just end up being, again, like the little glued thing on top, which is fine. Like, this still looks cute and it still fits into the collar. Do I have a collar? No. And Shinobi's nowhere near me. But yeah, so we got that, and this is how I can make it. And now I'm gonna try to think through how to do this on a bigger scale so that it is fast and easy. I might also just try to wash this to see what happens. Like, I know it's 24 hours, but I want to prep this fabric. Like, this has been on my to-do list for so long that I need it. I need to get this done. Okay, so I got a little bowl, and now I'm going to try to wash them. So I have the one that I just made, and then I have the one that was previously made from Evergo. So this would be like my past 24-hour mark. Like this should be it, but we're still gonna try this one for fun because it's already messed up. I can't use it, so might as well. So let's see. So this is just in water. So this is my original one from forever ago. We're just gonna put it in the bowl. And doesn't look like there's any fading, which is good. Now we're gonna add some soap. And I'm just using Downy because honestly, like Downy is great like for like so many little things. It's like recommended for taking out stains and washing your dog, and it's even good for flowers. I mean, obviously mixed with other things, but it's like a natural pesticide for something. And yeah, it saved it. Look, it still looks good. So it is waterproof, which is perfect because, you know, we wouldn't want that to ruin anything else. And then this one, let's see. This is our unnecessary risk. So let's pretend this is a washing machine. Obviously, any accessories, any toys you want to put in like a safety bag before you just drop it in. But let's see. Yeah, it's still on, so it's looking good. So I can definitely start planning on how to make the other stuff. So yay, good news, good news. Okay, so since that worked out, I'm just going to go ahead and iron out the fabric and get the actual muslin, because I want to say the other one was cotton but this one's muslin. So I'm going to go iron this out so that we can do the measurement. When I'm ironing, I'm not waiting for like I'm not trying to get rid of every single thing because this is all gonna be fairly small, but just especially like those smaller creases, and try to fade away some of these hard lines from the fabric being folded are kind of the main goal. Hi, gorgeous. Yep, I was not using that fabric. Don't worry about it. I'll figure it out. We're gonna measure our fabric. So 4.5 is like 1 3/4 of an inch. And then 5 would be 2 inches. In my little note. I know it sounds silly, it's just, it helps me keep track. So then we have this larger fabric. I'm doing it in inches now so that I can use my big cutter. We got 37. Alright. Alright, beautiful. 33. Okay, so as you guys saw, Shinobi laid down, so there's really not much for me to do right now. Like, I can try to make lines, but it's not going to do too much. She's basically like an iron, but, you know, with beans. And she just moved even further, more diagonally into the fabric, so there's no way I can do anything. I don't want to move her. She's comfy, and there's zero need. I probably need a break, and this vlog is probably already super long. So yeah, I'm just gonna stop here, And then on the next vlog, I'll give you an update on the labels, where I'll show you something sewn with the label. So we'll see. I don't know if I'll sew it or my mom will sew it. I don't know. But yeah, hopefully by the next one I will have all of this cut, because it's been on my to-do list for like ever. So I'm excited to get this done. I'm gonna use chalk to mark it all up, make it a grid, basically a table on the fabric. So yeah, I'm excited. So thank you so much for watching, for joining. Hope you enjoyed the experience. Hopefully you found something helpful. And if you try anything new, if you think of any ideas of anything that I should try to simplify my life with the label making, let me know. Drop it in the comments. So drop it or leave it. I don't know. Just type it somewhere in the comments. And if you're a one subscriber that just joined, thank you so much for joining, and we appreciate it. It means a bunch. And if you haven't subscribed and you're watching this, and I would encourage you to subscribe, because it makes us super happy, just like we get super happy when we get a sale. Like yeah. All right, I'm gonna stop babbling now. Bye. Who is it? Who's here? Oh my goodness. Is it Grandma? I know. Some exciting stuff.